Hi, my name's Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and today I'm going to talk about shooting the PSE Perform target bow. I've been shooting for about 4 months now. I did shoot the 3D version in 50 pound for the month of December, and I shot extremely well with that. Now, when I first got the Perform, I thought it looked great. It was 60 pound, and I was shooting a 50 pound 3D for a month beforehand. And when I got it, I shot really bad. I mean, personal worst scores that I can think back in time to. Now, it's not that the bow shot bad. It didn't. I was struggling drawing the bow back, for one. So when I was physically drawing the bow, the arrow would bounce off the arrow rest. So I was struggling with the poundage. So I wound the bow back a little bit. I was finding I was shaking when I was aiming at the target. So the shots were going exactly where I was pointing them, but I wasn't pointing in the middle. So all up, I was really struggling. I was thinking about 50 pounds, I was thinking about the 3D. But in all that, I think it gets back to the archer. So with all this, $2,000 bow and everything else, I think it gets back to the archer. Now, so I've been shooting this for 4 months, and now I think I'm shooting pretty good. And I just want to talk a little bit about it. So I first off started shooting with a one V-bar, one side rod off to the side, and I was finding it was a little bit shaky. So I went back to V-bars, which is what I normally shoot. I was also shooting a 6 times, or I am shooting a 6 times lens. With a clarifier. I got rid of the clarifier, so now when I look at the target, it's actually blurry. For some reason, as soon as I took that clarifier out, my scores went up. Now, my previous target bow, I had a bigger dot in the middle, so this could all be mental. But anyway, I've gone back to V-bars, I took out the clarifier, basically brought my bow back to the way it was before, and my scores went through the roof. So I'm going to show you a bit about my shooting right now. So when you buy a bow like this, an expensive bow, don't expect your scores to jump through the roof. Now, I have sold plenty of Performs now, and people's scores did jump. So a local archer, his top score went from, I'm going to get this wrong, 650 to about 680 for this world round. It's out of 720 points. Now 680 is an Australian qualifying score, and he's shooting around that now, and he's been shooting for 6 months. I've got a kid in WA who's shooting one of these. He shot his personal best as soon as he got it. I've got another kid in this state shot his personal best as soon as he got it. But that is not always going to be the case, especially if the bow's heavier or you're struggling with the weight. You may find your scores drop, and you've actually got to build into the bow. So that's what I've been doing. So I've been putting time into practice and trying to shoot lots of arrows. So I'm going to just talk quick about my scores. So normally I was shooting for indoors, which is 18 meters. Indoors out of 300, I was probably averaging 297s, 296s. I shoot an occasional 300. When I got this bow, I shot a 287. Now, I did shoot 293s and 294s, but it was a substantial drop for me. So 287 was the lowest score I've shot for maybe 4 years. So I think I'm shooting pretty good now. So let's shoot some arrows. Now this is all live, so I actually don't know where the arrows are going. But I'm feeling, I was always comfortable with the way the bow shot. I always liked the way the bow shot. It felt quick, it felt solid, everything felt balanced. It all felt good. I changed my release aid, so I went from the back spin to the TrueFire Sear. In fact, I found this made no difference at all. So my thing with all this, the concept of buying an expensive bow like the Perform or the Matthews or the Hoyt or one of the other expensive bows, don't expect you're going to shoot a big score. I mean, it's nice to think you will, but you got to put the work in. And shooting this bow, my muscles started to hurt again in my back, so I got lumps, so it limited how much I was shooting. When I say lumps, they're knots from physically shooting the muscles. Generally happens when I'm shooting. My dog goes next door and then starts barking. I don't know why, but she was actually asleep before I started shooting. So when I'm shooting, I'm thinking more about my technique. I'm thinking about my back. When I say my back, I'm thinking about keeping the shoulder low, and I'm thinking about the pressure along my shoulder blades. Sometimes I'm wishing the trigger would go off. I have been shooting really well with it. But it's not to say I didn't think about changing. I thought about 50 pounds. I did think about the 3D, shooting the 3D. But I was like, I'm going to stick at this because the state championships are not till July. So I had plenty of time up my sleeve. And that's the other thing, you don't want to change bow just before a tournament. So if the nationals are coming up, you generally don't want to change bows the week before. Now it is possible you'll grab the bow and you'll shoot perfect scores and it'll be sweet, but I mean, I was watching the Lancaster indoor shoot, which is a prize money shoot for I think 15,000, and there was a guy shooting a Perform. I'm going to get his name wrong, Dan Janser, and he got the bow on Friday and he was shooting the tournament on Saturday. So he set it up apparently Friday, and he shot the tournament Saturday, and he came. I mean, he knocked out a lot of the big shooters. He probably came fourth, I think. Shot perfect scores. So it is possible you'll grab the bow and shoot great first off, but for me, I struggled with the poundage, I struggled with the weight. And also when you get a new bow, and some of my arrows only have 2 vanes too. When you get a new bow, it's good to not change everything. It's good not to change the scope. It's good not to change things, because then you've got more stuff which is messing with your head, and your head's really important to get your head in the game. Now, as far as, I'm going to say, issues with the Perform. So I've been shooting this for 4 months. And I have had no issues at all. Now, one of my customers did, and I'm trying to think what his issue was. I think it was the little yokes here. It was either there or it was the string just there. It was wearing on the little eyelet. Mine's not. His did. I just put a new set of strings on. He's been fine ever since. I think it was the main string. Now, he shoots a lot of arrows. He shoots 100 plus arrows a day. Now, you'll see I haven't served where the cables run through the rollers. I'm really not getting much wear there. Now, it's up to you whether you serve it or not. I didn't bother because I was like, I didn't do my last bow. But it would stop wear. But my wear, like I said, I've been shooting this for 4 months now and it's fine, so. I'm just going to put the spotlight on because it's getting really dark. So walking up to the target, I can see I've shot some 9s. I'd hoped to shoot all perfects. I really did, because I have been shooting perfects. I just got back from working on a house. I thought I'd come out here and do this video, and I was hoping to shoot a perfect score. There's not to be, but it's life. But I have been shooting pretty much heaps of X's and just heaps of 10s. The 9s have been really, really rare. I'm going to say it's really important when you're shooting too that you're hydrated. Often I come back from work and I'm completely dehydrated because I don't get any water at work because I'm just non-stop the whole entire time. And I get home after 8 hours of no liquids and I come to shoot and I'm completely stuffed. And after working on the house today, I didn't have any liquids before shooting this, so it's been 6 odd hours, I suppose. Yeah. But you can see I'm drawing the bow back really well. The arrow's not bouncing. And I don't know, the shot feels good. Everything feels good. Now I'm shooting three types of vanes here, actually 4. I'm shooting the Flex Fletch, the Boning Air, the AE Max, the AE Max, and the 1.6 AE Max. So that's the 2.187. So the 187 Flex Fletch, the 2-inch the 2-inch Boning Air, the 187 A Max, and the 1.6 Max. Now, I've just been trying stuff because I've got months to try stuff before tournaments come in. So I'm trying to get my body adjusted. So I'm trying to get my body adjusted to shooting. And I'm just experimenting with vanes, which ones stick better, what's the longevity of the vanes. These shots feel really nice. Now I am going to look at, because the nationals and the state indoor are in July, and I'm shooting this bow really well now. So I am going to look at setting up a completely another bow for indoor archery and shooting with fatter arrows, the 27s, which are Vegas legal, and the 23s, which are feeder legal. It's going to be a completely different bow. So that's all. Now I'm shooting TKOs. I'm going to shoot TKOs on the last target. The TKOs are slightly heavier, and I find they kind of shoot a little bit low in the 10, but I still find I shoot 10s with them. So I think except for that one, because that shot really bad. Now, it shot really bad. I shot really bad. Now when you're shooting, it's really important to take every shot and go try and make the shot feel good. That shot didn't feel good. As far as my shoulder, left shoulder didn't feel good. It felt too high. That one felt really good. So, and that's just all about practice. So when I practice, it's about building the strength and just repetitions and repetitions of good technique. Oh. I was shaking around everywhere for that shot. Anyway, last arrow, I'm going and see where they are. Shaking around with that one too. Okay, so I'm going to hold my poodle so she doesn't bark and annoy you, like she annoys me while I'm shooting. So overall, that target's clean, all 10s. That target obviously shot one high. That target's clean, all 10s. That target 1.9, that's fine. And the first one down there is 9. Now I'm pretty happy with that. I do shoot better, but for me that's pretty good. Now, like I said, it's really important to get yourself sorted before you come out and shoot, like hydrate yourself, keep your water up, and food. So if you're shooting a tournament, make sure you've got food coming into your body, because you don't want your blood sugar levels changing. So overall, this video is about Perform, and I'm going to say it gets back to your shooter. So as much as I love the Perform, and I do, it's one of my favorite bows ever. As far as any bow, I think it's far better than the Expression ever was. As far as vibration, I love the bow to shoot. I love the speed of it. It's just an easy draw cycle. I don't know why I vibrate as far as the arrow on the arrow rest as I'm drawing sometimes. That's the only thing. But as far as shootability, I really like this bow. Now I do have a tournament coming up next week, and if I shoot anything like that, I should win. So I don't know what the other shooters are going to shoot like, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty happy shooting like that. If I shoot the arrow good, it goes dead in the center. The bow itself is really reliable. I have no issues about reliability. Now I'm going to make a couple of notes on my Perform. I'm shooting with one circlip on the top limb because I took a circlip off for another bow. One bow came with one circlip, so I took it off my own bow. I've been shooting that way for 2 months now. I'm just going to make that point because one of my customers who brought a bow said when his bow blew up, he said there was only one circlip on the limb, which axles just don't move. So I'm shooting with one circlip, and I don't have the wedge lock system because I gave it to another customer because he lost his. I don't know how you lose the wedge lock system, but anyway, he lost his. It's making no difference. I'm finding the bow shooting really well. I do have the bigger circlips now. I just haven't remembered to bring them home to fit, or when I've got my bow in my shop, I forget to fit it. But overall, it's shooting really well. The arrows, I'm shooting Victory VAPs and the Victory TKOs. I'm finding them really strong. I shoot about this many arrows per target generally, and they're just lasting. The vanes, I'm going to say the Flex Fletch, I haven't lost a single vane yet. The AAEs are really good. I haven't lost any. The AAE Max, I did lose some. Now in the AAE Max vanes, it says you should use a weld pen to stick them and a cleaner, which I didn't do. And I've lost probably one vane per shaft, and I fletched 6 arrows. So the little 1.6 AAE Max have done much better. I've probably lost about 2 vanes out of those. But the Flex Fletch and the airs are really good. As far as damage to the vanes, they're all pretty good. The airs I've been shooting for about a year now, and I'm getting a few little nicks where the arrow hits. But overall, really good. But the PSE Perform, love it. My favourite bow. Now, as far as a hunting bow, it's not my favourite hunting bow because it's a target bow. But as far as a target bow, I just think it's great. So I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and now what bow I shoot for indoor, I haven't decided yet. I am thinking about a shoot down as an indoor bow, setting up purely for indoor, and I haven't worked out whether I'm going to shoot 60 or 50 pounds yet. I'm tending to think 50 pounds, but then I think for training, shooting, it's better to shoot what I shoot for target, but it's definitely better to drop down to 50 because you're just so much more steady. And for indoor, you just don't need 60 pounds. So anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. I hope that's been useful, and thank you for watching. And the more you shoot, the better you'll shoot. Thank you. Bye.